Welcome back. The Canadian Real Estate Association says home sales fell for the 5th consecutive month. Sales were down in about 3/4 of all local markets, led by us here in the GTA.
So joining us live with more on the latest numbers is Sean Cathcart, senior economist with the Canadian Real Estate Association. Sean, it's great to have you with us. So this latest drop was the smallest out of the 5 that we've seen. Does this signify anything important to you in terms of the trends we're seeing?
Well, I think if you're looking for a market that's coming in for a landing at some point, that if these declines are getting smaller and smaller, that's a good sign. Same thing on the price side. It's not, the 2021 market, obviously, but it's, I think, given all of the conditions that are out there, the Bank of Canada hiking rates like crazy, that, if things are sort of coming in and finding a bottom, that's a good thing.
So average home price is down, sales are down, new listings are down. What does this say to you about buyer intention right now?
Well, a lot of people have been sidelined by rising rates because of the stress test and just because it becomes a lot more expensive to borrow the kind of money that it takes to buy real estate in many parts of Canada. And a lot of people have sidelined themselves, just waiting to sort of see how things play out. I think what was interesting in July was the decline in new listings. Listings aren't piling up. That's a big worry during a housing market adjustment. People worry about listings piling up and, people capitulating on prices because they can't pay their mortgage. That's mainly an unemployment rate governed thing, and that's near a record low. And so it looks like sellers are also going to stay on the sidelines, and everyone's got to go back to the drawing board, I guess, and figure out what they can afford in this new borrowing landscape.
Yeah, it kind of seems like we're in hazy waters these days, Sean. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? And what do these numbers do in terms of, influencing the cost of a home right now?
So the issue that we have way too much demand for housing generally across the spectrum in Canada and not enough supply in terms of roofs that can house people, bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. That problem hasn't gone away. And so if you look at the number of homes that are listed for sale on the market today, still historically low. Even though demand has gone to the sidelines for a while, summer, especially in the post-COVID era when we're finally able to go places and have a vacation, could be a bit of a head fake too, in terms of how much demand has actually gone away versus how much has gone on vacation. We saw that last year as well. I think that things are going to find a bottom soon. Really, I've said this before, I'll say it again, a big part of this is what happens with inflation. Does it come in less than expected and the Bank of Canada has to not be so harsh, or does it come in stronger? The economy and housing will sort of follow along with what happens in the wake of that.
And the problem is, Sean, there's just so much uncertainty, right? So if you're buying or if you're refinancing, want to get your thoughts on fixed or variable.
Oh boy, this is dangerous territory. I'm not an advisor, but I will say this. If the Bank of Canada does what they are currently expected to do, so this is not my opinion, this is financial markets betting on the Bank of Canada, getting another 100 basis points over the next 3 meetings and stopping there, and maybe even by this point next year coming back down on the overnight rate from 3.5 to like 3, then variable's actually not a bad play. But it's risky because some of the fear has been that they won't be able to get inflation under control. I think the good news is some of the North American data that we've seen just in the last couple of weeks, oil down, wheat down, and like all the associated things with food and fuel, right? If inflation actually comes under control faster, then yeah, the variable play is a good one. I think a lot of people have been doing that just because it's so much harder to pass the stress test. If you want a fixed rate mortgage these days, you're in the 7s, right? And that's really hard that's a big hurdle to pass.
Okay, lots to watch for. Sean Cathcart, senior economist with the Canadian Real Estate Association. Thanks for your thoughts.
Thanks so much.
My pleasure, anytime.